I hate how empathy or being an empath is being like pushed as a good thing now. Oh, I'm an empath. I just feel everybody's emotions. Oh, I just have a big heart and people just use me. I have a big heart. I'm an empath. I have a big heart. Shut the hell up. You don't have a big heart. You just don't have boundaries. You aren't an empath. You just don't know how to stop feeding into other people's energy because you're scared if you stop worrying about other people of what's going to happen. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so thankful y'all are here. Is something crawling on me? I am so thankful y'all are here. I pray y'all can find home here, and if so, welcome. I pretty much grew up as a psychological, emotional people pleaser where I wasn't allowed to feel certain emotions, especially anger, but I wasn't allowed, or I didn't feel safe to express certain emotions because of the reaction I would get. I grew up rejecting my own anger because I learned that anger is bad, anger is scary, anger doesn't lead to anything positive, you know? Even as an adult now, I'll have moments where I observe somebody else that's really angry, really mad, and like I'll kind of subconsciously judge them like, oh, they're angry, they can't control themselves, they can't handle their emotions, like, oh, look at them. And it's not from a intentional space. I feel like it's my inner child and the way she grew up where I wasn't allowed to express my anger because I was taught, you know, good girls don't get angry. Anger is an ugly emotion. Anger is a uncontrollable emotion. And so as I've done the healing, as I've learned how to connect to all my emotions and no longer deny myself the right to feel all these emotions, I'm learning that anger is the propeller for change. Anger causes change. When anger comes up in us, it's coming up because we have had our boundaries crossed in one way or another, whether that is physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is. Anger comes up as a defense mechanism to protect the most vulnerable, fragile parts of us. So when you're not allowed to feel your anger, or when you have negative beliefs around your anger, you basically are denying the parts of you that protect you. You're denying your inner protector. But if you consider yourself to be an empath or a people pleaser, it's very likely that you have a lot of repressed anger that you don't want to feel, you don't know how to feel, and that you're just kind of pushing down, pushing out the way, moment to moment. And I found myself that when I was unconscious to this reality, that when I got into relationships, people would cross my boundaries or people would do things that made me uncomfortable. And instead of using that small bit of anger or that small bit of feeling, that like injustice energy, instead of using that to explain to them how to love me better or how to help me feel safe in that situation, I would kind of just chalk it up to, I just want to make sure they're comfortable. I just want to make sure I'm a good person, a good woman in their life. I just want to make sure they're enjoying this time. I don't want to muddy the waters. I don't want to disrupt the flow of energy. And because I've always been in this mindset of them first, ignoring what I need, it caused me to basically not attract, because we attract all different types of people, but it caused me to form relationships with more narcissistic people than healthy people. Because I talked about this in my last video, but for every narcissist that violates other people's boundaries to gain power or control, there's a people pleaser that will allow that. For every narcissist that gaslights someone to get their way, there's a people pleaser or an empath who puts others' needs, others' thoughts, and others' opinions before theirs. Narcissists cannot or whatever you want to call it. Narcissists cannot be narcissists without people that allow them to implement the controlling and manipulative behavior. So how does this all relate to anger? When you deny yourself anger, when you deny yourself the right to not only feel your anger, feel how mad you are, feel how somebody violated your boundary and it made you not trust them, when you don't allow yourself the permission to feel that, it also prohibits you from actually taking action to protect yourself. It prohibits you from taking action to set that boundary, to communicate what you actually need or actually want. Because other people can't know how to treat you. Other people can't know what offends you until you tell them. Nobody's in your brain. Nobody's in your body. Nobody's in your heart. So you as a person, as an individual with authority over your life, over your well-being, you have to be able to communicate that does not feel good. Hey, what did you mean by this? What did you mean by what you said this morning? It didn't sit right in my spirit. What are your intentions in this friendship? What are your intentions in this relationship? Can I get clarification on this situation? Can we sit down and talk about what just happened? That's anger in motion. We always think anger is big and rageful and, oh, you're a B word. Like, we always think anger is scary. Anger doesn't have to be scary. But if you grew up anything like me, you may have only seen anger in a scary form, in the form of rage, in the form of big, loud, uncontrollable, unpredictable. And that's scary for anybody, an adult, a grown man with a gun. Like, that's scary for anybody. So it's really going to be scary for a child when it's their parent or their caregiver. And I'm not saying these things to blame my parents or to blame my mom or anybody in my family, because emotional regulation, like, we're learning this. Even my mom, she's learning. And as we all know, therapy has just became normalized. We're still normalizing it, but especially for the older generation, therapy was something like some woo-woo. Not saying that, it was good that they thought like that, but we have to look at reality for what it is. But regardless, especially as a child, when you only see anger in a scary form, of course you're going to deny your own anger. Of course you're going to deny those feelings that you've seen on the external become something that you couldn't control. But the downside of this is, when you suppress your anger, you can only suppress it for so long. Suppressing your anger, suppressing your sadness, suppressing any emotion is a defense mechanism. It's not a method to emotionally regulate yourself. It's not a way to bring harmony and peace to yourself. It's a protection thing. And with any form of protection, you eventually have to let go so that you can be vulnerable again, so that you can breathe again. You don't want to always hold a shield up your whole life, because eventually you have to let that guard down. So when you learn to suppress your anger all the time, suppress, I have to be nice, I have to look nice, I have to say the right thing, suppress. Oh, they hurt me, oh, they harmed me, I'm not going to say anything, suppress. When you do that for so long, eventually you're going to rage. You're going to let all of it out because, oh my God, what is that? It's a bee. But you're eventually going to let all of that out because you're a human being. And sometimes I think we give ourselves way too much power. I know I do. Because I'm only human. It's but so much anger I can suppress. It's but so much anger anybody can suppress. That's not natural to suppress your anger. It doesn't make you a good person because you suppress your anger. It doesn't make you any better than any other person because you ignore your anger. It makes you somebody who's ignoring the very emotion that will actually help you change in your life, that will actually help you get closer to happiness in your life. I hate how empathy or being an empath is being like pushed as a good thing now. Oh, I'm an empath. I just feel everybody's emotions. I'm an empath. I'm just nice to everybody. I have a big heart. And I talk about that in a few of my older videos. Oh, I just have a big heart and people just use me. I have a big heart. I'm an empath. I have a big heart. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. I'm sorry. Like, I have to say it like it is, because I'm no longer going to suppress my own words and my own thoughts that I want to say on my channel either. Shut the hell up. Like, y'all have to stop with this I have a big heart and people just use me crap. Because you need to have a big heart for yourself. You letting people run all over you. You don't have boundaries. And I get it. Boundaries are new to society. Like, it's been in recent years that we've started talking about boundaries and self-love and narcissism and just what all these things are. I get it. Me too. You know what I'm saying? Me too. I'm new to this too. But somebody needs to hear, you don't have a big heart. You just don't have boundaries. You aren't an empath. You just don't know how to stop feeding into other people's energy because you're scared if you stop worrying about other people of what's going to happen. Stop using this, oh, I have a big heart and I'm an empath, as a way to empower yourself. Stop empowering yourself for being weak. And I'm talking to myself too, y'all. I'm not saying that you're weak as a person, but like, we have to stop giving ourselves credit for not doing the work that we need to do. We have to stop bigging ourselves up for running from emotions that are completely natural. You don't get angry. Oh, you never cussed anybody out. You never got angry. I don't get angry. Stop. What are you praising yourself for? For not being a human? For not feeling human emotion? For not having no motion in your life because you won't allow your anger to fuel you to the next level? That's what anger is for. Like I said earlier, anger comes up because it notifies when we're being violated, when something within us doesn't sit right, when somebody says something that genuinely hurts our feelings, when somebody does something that violates our moral codes and our values. Anger is what helps us determine who should remain in our lives and who doesn't. So people who avoid their anger are often surrounded by people who will abuse and manipulate them. People who avoid their anger will get used over and over and over again because you're not using the natural defense mechanism that was put into you to remove these people out of your life. And I'll be honest, I'm the type of person where anybody that was in my life, especially regarding dating and relationships, I still love them to this day. It's a plane, hold on. Whether that's friendship, dating, family, I don't care what it is, I still love them with all my heart. But one thing about it is, I will never betray myself in order to keep a connection that I know isn't good for me. I'm always going to allow myself to love, but I'm also going to allow myself to actually stand up for myself, to actually have a little bit of self-esteem, a little bit of protection over myself. And I can always do better. I'm learning still to this day, y'all. But never let your big heart, never let the love you have for somebody overpower the pain that they cause you. Never let somebody get comfortable violating you. Never let somebody get comfortable disrespecting you over and over and over again. Because the thing is, the more they disrespect you and you don't say anything, the more they show you they don't like you, they don't love you, and you don't do anything, either two things are going to happen. You're going to stay and you're going to be quiet and you're going to slowly erode your confidence, your self-esteem, your sense of self, your sense and grasp on reality is going to slowly erode. Or you're going to reach a breaking point and you're going to go off on them. You're going to be mad at yourself. You're going to regret all your life choices surrounding them. You may have built a bigger life with this person, especially if they're a romantic person with you, a family. Y'all may have children, a house. The only thing that comes out of ignoring your anger, the only thing that comes out of violating your own boundaries to keep somebody in your life is destruction. You're going to destroy yourself, or you're going to spaz out. You're going to go crazy and try to destroy them in one way or another. And nothing good is going to result out of that at all. You're going to just destroy your own life trying to hurt somebody else. So that's why you should never ignore your anger. Stop ignoring your anger. Anger isn't always big, rageful emotions. Anger can also look like disinterest. I'm just not interested in this conversation. Anger can look like not liking somebody, not vibing with somebody. I just don't feel the connection. I just don't see this friendship going anywhere. I just don't see this relationship going anywhere. Anger can also look like he violated me, she violated me, and I'm going to speak up on that. I don't appreciate that. Anger doesn't have to be you cussing somebody out and jumping on the hood of their car trying to bust. Anger doesn't have to be this big, scary emotion where you're tearing everything down. And I promise you, when you start to tap into your anger, that's not going to be the way it comes out. I promise. It can feel like if I tap into my anger, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. Growing up in families or spaces where anger is always at the highest level, like when you only see anger in a rageful form, it can feel like you can't trust your own anger, because what if I start raging? What if I lose control of myself? What if I can't control my anger? But trust me, if you've been suppressing your anger and people pleasing and being a good girl or a good boy this long, your anger is not going to go from 0 to 1,000. I promise, as somebody that's tapping into my anger as I speak, it's not going to go from 0 to 1,000. It's going to go from 0 to 0.5, oop, back to 0. It's going to go to 1 to 2, 5, and you're going to feel safe as, oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I think the ant is biting me. Damn. Let me lift my feet up because I want to finish this video. But the safer you feel with your anger, the more your body will allow you to feel it. So if you already don't feel safe with your anger, your body is not going to allow you to go from 0 to 100. So trust yourself, trust your body, trust your anger, trust that you'll still be conscious and aware of yourself as you're angry. You won't lose control, I promise. But that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. If you made it to the end of this video, I am so thankful, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.